Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron, I'm thankful you're here with us. We're in a journey through Genesis, lesson 91, and we're in Judah explaining to Joseph, this is why you don't need to keep Benjamin. And it's this intense thing. Not only is Judah, it's intense because we're seeing Judah, a really wicked person, kind of having a change of heart. And then we're going to look at the emotions of Joseph as well. But one of the key things that's happening in this revelation period of Judah, praise, and there's a lot of symbolism here because later, Messiah is going to come through Judah's line, and he is willing to stand in the place for Benjamin. And so there's even some typology there, being willing to stand in the place. And that is Judah keeps saying, Lord, 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 and fulfilling the dreams in so many ways that Joseph had and told his brothers. And we won't go into, was he right to tell his brothers? Was he bragging? On and on and so forth. You can, in those lessons back in the probably 70s, 80s of these lessons, this is lesson 91, you can pick that up. So, and the one went out from me, and I said, surely he's torn in pieces. This is Jacob recounting to Judah, who's now recounting it to Joseph. So Joseph's getting the backstory. Surely he is torn in pieces, and I saw him not since, verse 29 of Genesis 44. So we're taking about 2 chapters a lesson, somewhere in that neighborhood. And if you take this also, Benjamin, from me, and mischief befall him, you shall bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. Because what is he? He's about 130 at this time. So gray-headed, you can just get the picture. And Jacob had lived a life of deception as well. I mean, his very name meant deceiver. Now, therefore, when I come to thy servant my father, this is Judah once again talking to Joseph, and the lad be not with us, seeing that his life is bound up in the lad's life. So it's the son of his old age, but not just that, the son of the wife he loved the most. I mean, he served 14 total years to get her to be the wife. I mean, just amazing. So he's just intensely in love, and Rachel's already dead. So this is the last, to his knowledge, Joseph's dead too. And he kind of suspects the brothers, but he doesn't come right out and say it. But you can read between the lines. There's some implications there. And so Benjamin is the only thing left to the very love of his life. And Jacob, let's face it, in some ways lived a very hard life. There were different phases in his life. And verse 31, and it shall come to pass when he seeth that the lad is not with us, Benjamin, that he will die. And thy servants shall bring down the gray hairs of thy servant our father with sorrow to the grave. Verse 32, for thy servant became surety for the lad. This is Judah unto my father, saying, if I bring him not unto thee, then I shall bear the blame to my father forever. Now therefore I pray thee, let thy servant abide instead of the lad, a bondman to my Lord. There's that phraseology again, Judah saying he's Lord. Let the lad go up with his brethren. Judah finally does the right thing. Judah does it. He says, I gave my word. His word hadn't meant much to this point. Let's do it. And we could go into with his daughter-in-law did his word, what his word meant and all this. Verse 34, for how shall I go up to my father and the lad be not with me? Lest peradventure I see the evil that shall come on my father. So we come to chapter 45, intensity remains. That was full of pathos, chapter 45. Then Joseph could not refrain himself. He's the king of the world, basically. And he can't refrain himself. Before all them that stood by him, he had, his steward, he had servants there. And he cried, cause every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren. You go to Revelation 1, this is going to happen again, the great revelation of Jesus, of which is a type to the Jewish nation. Now look at this. You're talking about intensity of emotion, ruler of the world, and he wept aloud, and the Egyptians in the house of Pharaoh heard. So he was right next, and they're just hearing. Verse 3, and Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. So they're just like, what's going on? And he's like, I'm Joseph. Because he had been speaking to an interpreter. They just assumed he was an Egyptian, even though he didn't eat with the Egyptians. So maybe they gave a certain amount away. So we're going to just stop here with this incredible intensity. One of the most amazing portions of the Bible. And even if you're not a Bible reader, you can't help but be moved by this, I don't think. It's incredible. It isn't God's inspired word, though. So God bless you. Check out our other videos. Hit the bell notification. Check out our other Journey Through series, and also the other 90 lessons in the Journey Through Genesis. We love you. God bless. Bye-bye.